The March 10th, 2022 meeting of the Social Circle Board of Education is called to order. I'd like to ask everyone who would like to please stand as we pray the Lord's Prayer together. Remain standing for the pledge of allegiance. Next item is approval of our agenda.
Mr. Chairman, there are no changes to the agenda.
I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
When opposed, please say aye. The agenda is approved unanimously. Next on our agenda, we have the minutes from our last board meeting in February. They're before you on board. I have a motion to approve the minutes from our last board meeting. Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. Those minutes are passed unanimously as well. Next item is our board comment section. And as always, thank you for coming. We enjoy great support from our community and it's very much appreciated. And it's a chilly night, nice crowd, and you're always welcome here. Just know that. Second Thursday in every month, we wish everybody would come back. So don't make it a one-time annual event, please. Keep coming. Down later in the agenda, you'll notice there's a break section. And we ask that everyone who attends to stay at least through the break section. That's so that everyone who deserves recognition can be recognized. And after the break session, you're welcome to stay. We understand you need to get home. And that's more the business part of the meeting. Some people like it, some don't. But I wanted to point that out to you. And next, you'll notice later in the agenda, we're going to be honoring the best Class A basketball team in the entire state, as proven on the hardwood. That comes later. But right now, I'm going to ask our Vice Chair to thank our community for the great support they offer our basketball team during this exciting season.
And I did write them notes. It definitely has been an emotional day since Saturday. And so I didn't want to go off script. So I'm just going to read to you guys what I wrote. On behalf of the governance team, we would like to thank the individuals, the organizations, and businesses that donated to the boys basketball team. They were able to get new warm-up outfits, meals, and 2 charter buses that went to Calhoun County and Valdosta University. And to the fans, thank you. Walking into the gym, especially in Calhoun, it was standing room only. It was a blessing definitely to see Social Circle there. So thank you, fans. And finally, to the team, we the governance team, the city, and the school are so proud of you guys. You guys made history with an undefeated season and undefeated in the playoffs. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Next on our agenda, we have Gifted Month, and I'll turn that section over to Mrs. Sally Robinson.
Good evening. March is Gifted Education Month, so I wanted to briefly highlight for you the current status of our Gifted program and our plans for the future. The Social Circle City School Gifted Program serves students in grades K through 12, offering support in a variety of formats to meet the needs of our gifted students. using a growth mindset, becoming self-directed learners, and providing learning opportunities that challenge students. This is a snapshot of our current demographics in the gifted program compared to the district overall. We have been carefully examining this data as part of the system equity audit. While our representation across genders is fairly even, there are some areas for growth in some of our ethnic and other subgroups. Overall, we have approximately 18% of our population identified as gifted, which is above the national average of 6% and the state average of 12%. During the last school year, we made 3 significant changes. First of all, we did a complete overhaul of our gifted procedures manual, adding additional support information for teachers regarding differentiating for gifted students and what gifted instruction might look like in different settings. We also updated our forms. One of these forms was an academic support plan for gifted students. This form helps to provide some structure for supporting gifted students who may not be reaching his or her full potential in the classroom. Together with parent input, a plan is devised that is revisited periodically and revised as necessary. Finally, we dove into our gifted demographic data as part of the system-wide equity audit. As I mentioned in the previous slide, we uncovered inequities in some of our ethnic groups, most notably our African American students. Our economically disadvantaged students, students with disabilities, and English language learners are also underrepresented. This year, we have begun rolling out some of our plans to address some of these equity issues and continue to improve the efficiency of our processes. First, in January, we implemented our first district-wide gifted eligibility testing window, which utilized both school and district personnel to complete eligibility testing in a timely and efficient manner. Students qualify for testing either through automatic referral using MAP test results or through manual referral by a teacher, a parent, or other individual. Also in the area of testing, we have begun to explore additional universal screening options, specifically in the area of cognitive ability, that might help us more broadly identify students from all backgrounds. In the area of teacher support, we have several elements in place. First, we have a Google Classroom set up for our gifted endorsed teachers with videos, articles, and other resources for supporting gifted students in the classroom. Secondly, we have a cohort of teachers working to complete their gifted endorsement through Northeast Road Reset. Finally, we are continuing to provide coaching and feedback to our gifted teachers. As we look to the future, some of our plans include continuing to fund gifted endorsement opportunities for teachers, providing training for all teachers on characteristics of gifted students, and establishing eligibility teams at each school to help evaluate work standards as an alternate method of qualification. We are so proud of the work being done in our district to support our gifted students and are excited about the future of the gifted program and SCCS. Thank you for your continued support, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Any questions? Board members? Thank you, Mr. Cox. Next, we have the social work month, and Dr. Humphrey, Dr.
Good evening, everyone. This month is National Social Work Month, and we'd like to recognize Ms. Jocelyn Holton. She's finishing her 3rd year here in the circle. You will often find Jocelyn going above and beyond her written responsibilities in an effort to best serve the children of our district. We are honored to have Ms. Holton as part of our team. Let's honor her. Thank you, Ms. Holton.
All right, next we have the school board member appreciation. Dr. Rico, handle that, please.
For our school board members, this is the week of appreciating our school board. March is the month, and we are certainly grateful for the tireless work of our governance team. They are dedicated to the children of this district and together committed to improving each student's educational journey. I would like to recognize each member, beginning with the longest serving member. That would be Mr. Randy Carruthers. Randy began serving on the board in 1988, 24 years. He and his wife, Kitty, live in Jersey, and Randy is representative of Zone 5. Randy has 3 children who all graduated from the Social Circle City Schools. Mr. Randy Carruthers. Next, we'd like to recognize our board chair, Mr. John Callahan had served on the board for 10 years and was just elected to his second term as board chair. He and his wife Lisa have 2 girls, Maggie Beth and Molly. Maggie Beth graduated from Social Circle High School in 2013, and Molly is set to graduate this school year. Our next honoree is Ms. LaWanna Bale, also appointed as the Zone 5 representative, has been heavily involved in Social Circle City Schools since her daughter, Azira, attended school here. She was appointed to the school board in 2014, 8 years. If she's not busy refereeing high school basketball or running the clock for football games, you can find her competing with an amateur slow pitch softball team. Ms. LaWanna Bale. Next, for District 2, Mr. Rico Jackson has been serving on the board since 2018, 4 years. He's a lifelong resident of Social Circle and a 1992 graduate of Social Circle High School. All right. He's employed locally by Standards Color and very active in his church as well. He and his wife, Angela, have 1 daughter and 2 grandsons. Mr. Rico Jackson. Our board vice chair and District 4 representative, Ms. Sabrina Sanford Flint, has been serving on the board since 2018, 4 years. Also a 1992 graduate of Social Circle High School. She has worked nearly 22 years with the Department of Family and Children Services. She's dedicated to the community of Social Circle and volunteers with her church and various local organizations. Sabrina and her husband Russell have 3 sons. Ms. Sabrina Sanford Flint. Next is Mr. Michael O'Connor, representing District 1, was elected to the board in 2020, 2 years. He was raised in Social Circle and attended the elementary, middle, and high school. After college, he returned to Social Circle, where he has been employed locally for more than 22 years. Michael has 6 children and 1 grandson. Mr. Michael O'Connor. Our last board member to be recognized is a retired educator, Mr. Steve Tranton. Ran for the board in 2020. He has 2 years of experience as a representative of District 3 in an effort to continue serving the students of Social Circle. As technical education director for a local manufacturing firm, Steve is constantly engaged with students at Social Circle High. He and his wife Kathy have 2 sons and 5 grandchildren. I would like to say thank you to our governance team for being committed to our students, to making sure all of our students get a high-quality education. It's not an easy job, but we appreciate the efforts that you're putting forth to make this community better. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Booker. I think I can speak for the entire board. We really appreciate that. We feel like we have as much more community support here than any school system in the entire state of Georgia. We really appreciate that. Bottom of our hearts. All right, next we have public participation, and there's nobody to speak tonight, so we'll go right through that one. On to our special recognition section, and I'll turn this one back over to Dr. Hooker.
All right, at this time, we'll ask Ms. Favors to come and to recognize our student of the month for the honors.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to say happy board appreciation to such a wonderful board. On behalf of Social Circle Primary School, just want to say that we do appreciate all that you do. You are very caring, you are dedicated, you're committed to this wonderful district. So thank you for all that you do for us. Just to give you a few things that's going on at the Social Circle Primary School. The Social Circle Rotary Club, just on the other day, brought over 500 books for our students. Each student will receive a book. Also, we will begin our online kindergarten registration. That will begin on March the 21st through the 25th. We have also scheduled a spring coffee and conversation for March the 17th, and it will be from 8:30 until 9:30. Also, Ms. Sermons, our assistant principal, she received a grant from Walton County Foundations, and we planned a STEM in-house field trip for our students, and it was really successful. All right, now I would like to introduce and recognize our star student from the primary school. His name is Eugene Fears Jr. He's also known as EJ. So I would like to let you know that this young man has been at our school for 4 years. He started in pre-K with his teacher, Miss Lee Trust, and in kindergarten, Miss Magnus. He had Miss Bramlett as his first grade teacher, and now he is in Miss Cooper's second grade classroom. They have a few things that they would like to say to you, EJ. Miss Leitra says that EJ, ever since his pre-K days, he has been a respectful learner. He listens carefully, treats others with kindness, and gives his best efforts in all tasks. EJ is a leader who shines so brightly for our school. Miss Magnus says, EJ was a model to his peers. He was always kind, loving, and willing to help others. He is a hard worker who did not ever give up when things got tough. He was such a fun and neat kid who always showed star behavior. Miss Bramlett said, EJ was an excellent role model for self-control. He demonstrated patience while waiting for his turn and had tremendous impulse control. EJ always came in with a smile on his face, was respectful, responsible, and a hard worker. EJ serves as an excellent representation of star behavior for our school. And lastly, Ms. Cooper says, EJ is always showing teamwork inside and outside of the classroom. He loves to encourage and include others during class activities. He uses positive words when communicating with his peers. He is always willing to help his classmates who need extra assistance. I am happy to have EJ in my class this year. Go EJ. At this moment, if you will, help me to celebrate this success for this young man, EJ Fears.
At this time, Dr. Harper will come forward and recognize the student.
Good evening, everyone. I want to take an opportunity to say thank you to the board as well. When you look at the gift that the elementary school gave you, it was a box of cupcakes, and on it says, "Cupcakes are muffins that believed in miracles." And at the elementary school, we just truly appreciate you believing in us on a daily basis. And as you believe in us, that's where we know your love and your care and the pouring into our resources come from. So thank you so much, because we do think that you are sensational. Enjoy your candle. And then just to tell you a little bit that's going on at the elementary school, we also received books from the Rotary Club, and we can't wait to have a shopping day for all of the students to choose a book of their choice. Last night we had our 3rd annual talent show, and it was so exciting to the students and the parents that it felt so unnormal to be normal to do something face to face. It was an incredible showing, and the students had dancing, magic tricks, singing, flipping, multiplication songs, all sorts of talents that they showed to us. And right now we're currently gearing up to begin our parent-teacher conferences at the end of March, so that we can share all the good things that are happening with the students in the elementary school. And up next, I have the honor and privilege of recognizing a 4th grader, Mr. Levi Garman. His teacher is Miss Wimpy, and she had these kind words to share about Levi. Levi is practically perfect. He comes in ready to learn every day. He is friendly, funny, and kind to every student in the classroom. He does anything he is asked to do without complaint, and he does it to the best of his ability. He gets excited about learning and shares that enthusiasm with his peers. He truly is a joy to teach. And the next thing that I did, instead of talking to other teachers to hear from them, this month I thought it would be a good idea to hear from Levi's peers to see what they have to say about him. So while Levi wasn't in the room, we kept it a secret, but I had them write on index cards. And these are some of the comments that his friends said about him in the classroom. Levi, you're awesome. You're cool. You're really nice, little man. Number one, you are very kind, funny, and you do not care what other people look like. Number two, you are a very caring person and you do not judge a book by its cover. Levi G is kind, nice, and friendly. He is helpful. He also plays with people when they are lonely. I am thankful to have Levi as my best friend, and I am so happy for you. Levi, keep doing good in school and keep being you. Levi, you are a really kind person, and you always have positive thinking. And the last statement that I'm going to end came from one of his students as well. It said, congratulations on being chosen as Student of the Month for the whole school. You deserve it. So without further ado, let's congratulate Levi Garman.
Good evening, everyone. Board members, I sincerely thank you for your dedication to Social Circle City Schools and also to the middle school. I know it's hard work, so we appreciate you very much. We're doing great things at the middle school. Our 8th graders are getting geared up for a college field trip to Athens, Tech, sponsored by Student Success Alliance through Ms. Crystal Sanford. Our 7th and 6th grade students will engage in opportunities of learning about careers through junior achievement in the coming weeks. Our faculty is engaging in the book study, Shattering Inequities. Spring sports are rocking and rolling, so we're doing great things at the middle school. This evening, the middle school is proud to recognize Ava Middlebrooks as our Star Student of the Month. Ava is a very conscientious student who is consistent, calm, and cool-headed. She sets a great example for her peers to follow. Ava embodies what it means to be a power student. She is always present and prepared. She is also focused and on task. Even when challenged with a difficult task, she displays a winning attitude. She operates with a spirit of excellence and integrity. Her respect for others is a trait that makes her stand out in any crowd. Outside of her academics, Ava enjoys playing for the middle school girls soccer team. She defends her role as center midfielder. In addition to outstanding tactical and technical skills, the versatility of this position also requires tremendous physical abilities. Her style of play shows a high degree of creativity, quickness, and above all, efficiency, making Ava a valuable player on both sides of the ball. Her teamwork on the field is transferred in and out of the classroom. Ava is wise beyond her years and a mature leader who is helpful, friendly, and involved. She goes above and beyond in her schoolwork and always strives to do her personal best. She is a pleasure to have in all of her classes. We are proud to acknowledge her as our middle school Star Student of the Month. Congratulations, Ava. I will accept this award on her behalf right now. She is with her fellow soccer players on the field, hopefully crushing Loganville. Everyone, thank you.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Armstrong will come forth and recognize our high school recipient.
Good evening. Thank you guys so much for all the support you give us, both for what you guys do financially, but also your presence, as we've seen lots of you for quite a few months. Thank you guys for all you do. Listen, I'll speak for coaches. I can't tell you how much it meant that I saw so many of you guys in places like Valdosta and Calhoun County. We really appreciate that. It shows how much you guys care about what we do at the high school. We're very grateful for all that. We have lots of great things going on. This 2 weekends ago, we had 2 students who are interviewing for GHP. They're semifinalists, and we'll know soon. Next Friday, we will have our top 10 breakfast. I'm hoping you have received your invitation. If you have not, please consider this a formal invitation. We'd love for you to come join us next Friday morning. And we are busy planning lots of senior activities for our seniors, and then getting ready for registration for next year at the high school. It is my privilege to introduce to you our student of the month. I'm going to read a few things that his teacher said about him. This young man is a genuinely kind man. He's a hard worker. He uses his class time to get any help he needs to further his understanding of what we're doing over in class. He's a solid example of what a good student should be. He's respectful, asks questions when he needs to. He works well on his own within a small group setting. Another teacher said, he does an incredible job in the weight room, pushing himself and his classmates to do their best. He always has a positive attitude and encourages those around him. He's an absolute beast on the football field. Another one of his teachers said, there are not enough kind words to describe how amazing of a person this young man is. He's kind, hardworking, coachable, a great listener, and always gives maximum effort. He is a winner. It has been my joy and privilege to coach him these past 3 years, and I'm excited to see what he'll do for his 4th year. Another teacher said he walks into the class every day with a smile. He's full of life and brings so much joy to those he interacts with, students and teachers. He's not only a hard worker on the court and on the field and court, he works just as hard as his academics. He's a student athlete who has a heart as big as he is. And this last one I thought just summed it up well. He said, there's a lot to be said about this young man, hard worker, smart, respectful. But what I feel is his best attribute is his attitude. I never hear him complain. Whatever situation he's put in, you always know he's going to give you his best. He's a true joy to have in class. So it's my distinct honor tonight to represent our student of the month, Mr. A.J. Back up a little bit for you. Take him up like that. Give it a good cheer.
At this time, we will ask Ms. Raines to come forth and to recognize our Georgia Statewide Elementary Honors Scores.
Good evening. March is also Music in Our Schools Month, and I want to take a minute to thank my administrators, Dr. Hooker, and the board for supporting music education in our schools. The Musician's Creed states the most important thing in music is not to win, but to just take part. Just as the most important thing in life is not only the achievement, but what you learn and what you share along the way. Tonight I would like to recognize 5 amazing, hardworking elementary students who gave up a whole weekend to learn, to share, to be a part of something bigger than themselves. These students represented Social Circle at the Georgia Statewide Elementary Honor Chorus. This event is sponsored by the Georgia Music Educators Association. Students selected to participate work with their teacher and learn 5 songs from memory, 2 of them in a foreign language. This year they sang in Spanish and Zulian, an African dialect. And we gathered together with other students from across the state of Georgia and rehearsed for roughly 9 hours and turned around and performed a concert. Before I call them up to receive their all-state medal and certificate, I just want to say how proud I am of them and that I'm so glad we got to share this experience together. I hope it'll be a lasting memory, and I want them to remember that music is a gift, and I hope that they will continue to share their gift with others. So first up is Jaylee Dennis. Next is Ansley Hall. Kinsey Miller. Elin Moody. And Ariana Sims. I don't know if she made it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rand. At this time, we're going to ask Coach Jackson to come forth and recognize.
Good evening. It's been an emotional few days, so I got some people on standby. I'm going to try to get through it. Dr. Hooker, Mr. Chairman, esteemed board, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do the greatest job I could possibly dream of, to be the head boys basketball coach and math teacher here at Social Circle High School. Before I get into a season recap, there are so many wonderful parties I wish to thank, and I apologize if I leave anyone out, but the names are numerous, which is a testament to how this community has absolutely surrounded these young men. So thank you, and thank you. Your support is not unnoticed, and we are humbled by your generosity and support. Armin Investments, Connor Smith Realty, Mr. Patrick Daly, Ms. Lisa Callahan, Ms. Elizabeth Biggs, Mr. Michael Yearby, Ms. Roxy Garrett, Mr. Edwin Harris, Three Twisted Sisters, Mr. Michael and Samantha Brown, TNR Homes, Elizabeth Joseph, Shambria Ivy, Adolphus Gaither, Dorothy Kelly, Tim Plate, JS Shelton Services, Teresa Price, Connor Smith Realty, Jeffrey and Cheryl Fisher, Renisha Gunn, City of Social Circle, DBA Proscapes, South Walton Booster Club, Ms. Stephanie Hall, Ms. Angel Malcolm, Ms. Shalathia Swain, Ms. Kelly Archer, and Mr. Brad Herring, First Source Heating and Air, CrossFit Ransom, Morris Realty, the Guy family, the Griffey family, the Russell family, Kiwanis Club of Social Circle, the Kids World Learning Center, and First Baptist Church of Social Circle. And all of our parents, friends, relatives, community members who have spent tireless hours working and supporting these young men. Again, I apologize if I left any names off, but know that your support is appreciated and we are forever grateful. And now to our season. Our season actually started in June, where commitment is measured. There are no bright lights. There are dozens of people in the bleachers, not hundreds. But it's a measuring stick for how the season will go. And we were dominant. We played essentially 30 games in 2 weeks, and we lost 2. How prophetic. We entered the season as the preseason #2 team in the GHSA Single A Public Classification, the highest preseason ranking in Social Circle history. and a favorite to win both region and state championships. However, like many other small schools, we have lots of multi-sport athletes, so we had to play 5A Appalachian in a scrimmage without a full team, and we won. Over the next few months, we would see this team transform a community into hoops-hungry men. Every home game being standing room only to see the greatest show around. We recorded double-digit wins over county rivals, 5A Walnut Grove and 3A Monroe area, a dominant victory over top 5A private school Christian Heritage, decimation of 6A Alcovey 2 times. We were the Pope Holiday Tournament champions with wins over 6A Pope, 6A Walton, and 7A South Forsyth. We scored 100 points 3 times against Commerce, Atlanta Classical Academy, and Clinch County. We enjoyed an undefeated season. Region champions, first time in 40 years. And while the wins are so sweet, we will cherish the memories more. The locker room after proving to Monroe and Walnut Grove that Walton County basketball belongs to Social Circle. The bus ride to Hiawassee. The post-game Waffle House trips. Our ears ringing with SC, SC, and start the buses. Coach Dolan, our announcer, Redskin fans, are you ready? The dunks, the three-pointers, the sweat, and the tears. What a season. Thank you. And none of this is possible without these young men. These young men have turned the tide of Social Circle basketball. So when I call your name, you guys can just come stand and line up along the yellow line. Number 25, Jalen Robinson. Number 12, Parker Dial. Number 2, Deshaun Hyman. Number 3, Philip Baines couldn't join us tonight. Number 33, AJ Vincent. He was all-region team. Number 21, Quinn Jackson. Also all-region. Number 5, Lamarius Jackson. And as I call my 5 seniors, I'll say a little tidbit about them. Number 15, Trey Douglas. Trey was hampered by a knee injury this season, but was committed. He had nothing to gain from being at practice every day, and no one would have thought less of him for showing up, or for not showing up. But I cannot think more highly of him because he did. Trey is an amazing young man and teammate. Thank you, Trey. I love you. Number 4, Amarian Russell. Almost no one sacrificed more for this team than Amarian. We had some new pieces to our team this season that had to see the court, and unfortunately for Amarian, that meant less playing time. But instead of letting it crumble, he met the challenge head first. He was a great teammate. He brought it every day in practice, and his high-flying dunks were quite spectacular. Thanks, Amarian. Love you. Number 10, Cam Gaither. When I think about Cam's journey, I get emotional. Because he's a kid that puts his head down every day and gets to work. He doesn't take reps off in practice. He is business-minded always. He puts the team first. He is an amazing student with a cumulative GPA over 90, and the fruits of his labor have come to full fruition. This season, Cam was named first team all-region, as well as first team all-state. I'm so proud of you, Cam. Number 1, Tyrell French couldn't be here today, but I will read a little bit about him. Tyrell has been a 3-year starter for us. He is an example of how hard work and consistency can bring your dreams to reality. He scored his 1,000th point this season against Alcovey. He is a 3-time all-region player. He is a 3-time all-state player. He is a 3-time all-county player. He is a floor general He is one of the toughest players I've ever had the privilege of coaching. And while he is fiery and very competitive, he loves his teammates. And last, number 0, KJ. KJ has been a 4-year starter for us. He was one of the first players to buy into our vision for what social circle basketball could be. The accolades speak for themselves. A 1,000-point scorer, 3-time All-County player, 3-time All-Region player, 3-time All-State player, Region Player of the Year, Pope Holiday Tournament MVP, and in my opinion, he's the best player in single-A basketball. KJ is a basketball player. He competes. He is level-headed. Thank you, KJ. I would be amiss not to recognize other members of the team without whom none of this would be possible. First up, my 2 assistant coaches, Coach Barnes and Coach Kemp. Our bookkeeper, Ms. Sierra Scarborough, our manager, Ms. Sierra Scarborough, our bookkeeper, Mr. Ken Jackson, our announcer, Mr. Bill Dolan, our athletic director, Mr. Fred Hargrove, our principal, Mr. Tim Armstrong, my beautiful wife, Sarah, to the bus drivers, custodians, teachers, and tutors. And finally, I wish to thank all of you, the community of Social Circle. We know we made you proud. Thank you. Thank you. We love you so much. You have been there for us for every mile and for every step. You're the rowdiest, toughest, craziest group, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Their record books may say something different, but ours will always say that the 2021-2022 Social Circle boys basketball team was the best team in Georgia, the state champions. It's a great day to be a Redskin. Thank you.
This is about basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this a long time. I've only coached with 2 coaches. This man right here had the same passion as the other coach that I coached with. One game he said, I'm going to get a tag. I said, no, coach, I'll take that tag for you. Because I'll be honest, if I had known some things that I know on Saturday night, sorry, Dr. Luke, I would have gotten technical. Ladies and gentlemen, these boys right here have become young men. We worked since June, and I tell you, I'm tired. I'm an old man. I can't do this. But, gentlemen, say louder. Take care of the little things. You guys are taking care of the little things. I'll be remiss if I don't introduce Coach Jackson's wife. Where is she? Behind every good man is a good woman. And her and the 4 kids. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a diamond in the rough right here. Thank you.
We'd like to thank Dr. Griffin for his leadership of our schools. Thank you, Dr. Okay, now let's see, overdue break that I promised. We'll take a 3-minute break and be back at the business section of our meeting. Thank you, everyone. All right, we'll get back to our agenda. Break is over. We'll move to our finance section. I'll ask Mrs. Nicole Ross to present our finance section.
Okay, good evening. Tonight presented is the January 2022 financial report. Beginning with the general fund, with 58% of the fiscal year complete, we have received 59% of general fund budgeted revenues, and we have spent 60% of the general fund budgeted expenditures. Local tax revenue has started coming in. In December and January combined, we received almost $3.4 million. This represents 95% of what was budgeted. Local revenue is revenue from Newton and Walton. We have received Walton's county payment of $1 million. This represents a decrease of 16.7% for the prior year. Zone 5 enrollment decreased from 489 to 425 students. We're in the process of reconciling with Newton County. We do have the final enrollment numbers. Newton County increased from 256 to 313 students. We're slightly above 58% in a few of the functional categories. This is due to payments made for annual expenses that have been paid in full already. Currently, expenditures exceed revenue by a little over $280,000. We do anticipate still ending the year without any use of fund balance. Encumbrances for the general fund total $165,000. Next are the special revenue funds. Currently, total awards for 2020 for FY22 total a little over $3.9 million. Drawdowns for January totaled $101,000. Encumbrances for special revenue funds total $121,000. Next, we have the school food service fund, 85% of our budgeted revenues, and we're at 72% for budgeted expenditures. In January, we served 29,237 meals. This equates to a reimbursement of $110,000. This represents an average daily revenue increase of about $2,000 from the prior year. Encumbrances for school food service totaled $1,200. Lastly, we have our SPLOST fund. SPLOST collections received in January for December collections totaled $189,000 from Walton and $2,700 from Newton. This is an increase of 12% from the prior year for Walton County and 10% for Newton County. Encumbrances for this SPLOST fund total $151,000. Are there any questions? So how much from Newton?
How many students in
Oh,
Newton County?
sorry. Newton, 256 in the prior year, 313 in this year.
Any other questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the January 22 financial report? So moved. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Next is Freshway. January collections totaled $2,397.12. This was allocated to each school for fine arts. This brings the total change for schools' collections to almost $116,000.
Thank you, Mrs. Cross. Next, we have the superintendent's report. Dr. Hook.
Yes. As we look at our total enrollment, we have 1,963 students overall, 1,946 students face-to-face, 17 virtual. We had an increase of 2 students at the primary school, 1 at the elementary school, -2 at the middle school, and -6 at the high school. That concludes my report for our student count. For superintendent comments, there aren't any today. We can move forward to our next.
Okay, next item on our agenda is new business and action items.
And I'll ask that Ms. Nicole Crawls come and present the first 2 items on our agenda.
The first item is a SPLOST budget amendment. This is to adjust the current SPLOST budget for additional SPLOST revenue we anticipate collecting of $153,000 and to adjust for the cost of the redesign and update of the middle school, high school interior and exterior seating and starting lines. This is a total cost of $205,000. So we are requesting to use additional funds of $52,000 from SPLOST. Current SPLOST collections are trending about 10% above collections from the prior year. And the proposed cafeteria booth and arrangement will accommodate 328 indoor students and 78 outdoor. This arrangement allows for a better flow of students in order to serve them in a timely fashion.
Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation for $52,000 for our cafeteria and middle school high school improvement. I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. It's approved for $52,000 extra toward the cafeteria.
Next is to approve the FY23 tuition rate. So OSGA, Georgia Guide 20-2-133, authorizes a local school system to charge non-resident student tuitions, but they cannot be charged more than the amount that is average locally financed. So attached to this document is the calculation. This average locally financed per student cost will be $3,270 for FY23. There's a history of the last 4 years so you can get an idea of where our tuition is.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve our tuition rate for fiscal year 23 in the amount of $3,270? Have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. Tuition rate for fiscal year 23 of $3,270 is approved unanimously. Okay, the next action item is an update on policy BHA, board member conflict of interest. It's highlighted in front of you. This one is already set.
Right. The next few items have sat on the table for 30 days.
Okay, so we'll take a vote on this one tonight. Have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation to update policy BHA regarding board member conflict of interest. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. That policy is updated. Next is D, action item, update policy CN, administrative records. This too is set for 30 days, so we can vote on it tonight. You see it highlighted in front of you. I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation that we update policy CN concerning administrative records. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. This passes unanimously as well. Moving on to E, action item, update policy GAMA, drug-free workplace. See it highlighted in front of you. I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation to update this policy. Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Drug-free workplace policy is updated. Next, we have F, which is the action item to update the policy GARK for employee vacation. This one, I believe, also was presented last month, and so we can vote on it tonight. I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation to update this policy. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. This motion carries unanimously. Upgrading policy GARK. Next, we have G, which is an action item to update policy GBC, professional personnel recruitment. I have a motion to accept this policy update recommended by our superintendent. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. Action item G is unanimously approved as well. Moving right along, are we still on ones that have sat for 30 days? No, we're not. Action item H, this is update policy IDFA, which is gender equity in sports. See it before you. I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation to update this policy. I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
When opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Policy is, for gender equity in sports is approved unanimously. All right, we have the updated policy for GBD, absences and excuses. Again, you see it highlighted. Do I have a motion to accept this recommendation from our superintendent?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Policy is updated. Moving right along to J. We have a strategic waivers school system contract amendment.
Yes, and let me speak more about that. This is the waiver that was signed in 2016. This gives our system waivers that we can use for specifically for us. This is just renewing the contract with the State Department of Education.
Do I have a motion to renew this agreement, this contract amendment for strategic waivers school? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. The strategic waiver school system contract amendment is approved unanimously. Go to K, we have surplus items for technology. You see the list there. I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for the surplus items for technology. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. The technology surplus items are approved unanimously. And we have for review, which I guess we don't vote on this one tonight. This one will have to sit for 30 days. But it's board policy GARH, employee leaves and absences. Would you like to highlight this one for us?
Sure. This is an amendment to our current policy that will allow an employee who does not qualify for FMLA to leave or has exhausted all of their FMLA and paid sick leave to apply for extended leave without pay 60 days to protect the employee's benefits. And this will include our bus drivers, our school services employees who do not qualify for FMLA.
Thank you, Dr. Hickory. Any questions on this? We'll vote on it at our next meeting. It sits for 30 days. Moving right along, we'll have a motion to exit regular session and enter executive session to discuss personnel. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. I believe this executive session won't last very long, so we'll be back in just a minute. Thank you. I have a motion to exit executive session and re-enter regular session. So, do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. We're back in regular session. And we discuss personnel. We have a personnel summary. We're going to take the recommendations from our superintendent in 2 slates. We'll go certified first. And I'll read them off, all of them, and then we'll vote. It's a slate. First, the superintendent's recommendations for employment for certified staff. Carl BOE, certified teacher for middle school. Randall Norman, certified teacher high school. Morgan Pye, certified teacher middle school. Vincent Sneed, certified teacher middle school. Then 1 resignation at the end of the year, Sabrina Joyner, certified teacher elementary school. Do I have a motion to accept these certified recommendations from our superintendent? Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. All the certified recommendations are approved. Moving right along to the classified recommendations from our superintendent. Nicole Duncan, competition cheer lay coach for the high school. Norman Jones, varsity football lay coach for the high school. Cynthia Young, bookkeeper middle school. Then we have resignations. Sarah English, school food services primary school. And Kim Miner, manager, school food service primary school. Do I have a motion to accept these classified recommendations for personnel from our superintendent? Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. All the classified recommendations are approved unanimously. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned. Thank you for